All right, today we're looking at arithmetic sequences. An arithmetic sequence is something like this, where your first number, let's say, is 5, and then this next number, say, is 8, and then this is 11 and 14, and it goes on and on. Okay? The way this pattern goes, you should be able to figure out the next number here. See, it goes up by 3 each time. That means my common difference, my D, is 3. And so that tells us this next number here would be 17. I just add 3 to that, and the next number would be 20. I add 3 to that, and so on. These dots here means it goes on forever, which means it's infinite. Now, if it doesn't have those dots, it's called finite. Like, look here, suppose I have this one, 2, 7, 12, 17, and that's it. And there's no dots here. That's a finite sequence, which means it stops right there after that fourth term. Okay? Anyways, I was saying up here, a sequence, D would be 3 because it's the common difference. All you can do here is do the second one minus the first one. 8 minus 5 is 3. 11 minus 8 is 3. 14 minus 11 is 3. The common difference is 3. The second one minus the first one. My first term is 5. So what we do is we call that A sub 1 is 5. A sub 2 would be 8. A sub 3, A sub 4, A sub 5, and so on. Okay? A sub n is the nth term, whatever n is. Okay? So that gives us this formula right here. This is the formula we have for any sequence. An arithmetic sequence with the first term A sub 1, right there's A sub 1, and a common difference of D. The nth term, or A sub n, is given by this formula here, where n is the number of the term. Okay? So we're going to use this formula to do some of these problems here. So look at this first one here. Number 1. Write out the first 5 terms of this sequence. Okay? A sub n equals 2n minus 5. So what I'll do here is, the first term, A sub 1, I just put 1 in for n. So 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 3 would be minus 5 is negative 3. The second term, I just put 2 in. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 5 would be negative 1. The third term, I put 3 in. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 5 would be positive 1. And you can see negative 3, negative 1, 1. It's going up 2 each time. So this would be 3, and this would be 5. And there's my first 5 terms of the sequence. Okay. All right, so like on this one, write the first 5 terms here. Okay, well, the first one, I put 1 in. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 would be 8. There's my first term. Now, the second term, I put 2 in. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 would be 13. The third term, put 3 in. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. And after you get this thing going, you could probably figure out what the next term is without having to put the number in. See, this is going up by 5 each time. So this would be 23. And this would be 28. And there's my answer. Okay. Write the first 5 terms here. Okay, so A sub 1 is going to be 1 squared minus 2 times 1. So it's going to be 1 minus 2 would be negative 1. The second term, I put 2 in. 2 squared minus 2 times 2. That's going to be 0. 2 squared is 4, minus 4 is 0. All right, the third term, I put 3 in. That's going to be 9 minus 6, which is 3. The fourth term, I put 4 in. That's going to be 8. I did it real fast in my head. And now it says first 5 terms, we got 4 of them. This one here is a square, so it's kind of hard to tell up how much. This goes up 3, this goes up 1, it goes up 3, that goes up 5, so I think the next one will go up 7. I think it's 15, but if you're not sure, just put your 5 in. So it's going to be 25 minus 10, which is 15, so that is right. So there's my first 5 terms of the sequence. Okay. Now right here, determine if this is finite or infinite. Well, there's no dots here, so this is finite. This has the dots, which means it's infinite. That means it goes on and on forever. This has the dots. It goes on and on forever. It's infinite. Okay. Number 7, find a common difference for this sequence. Okay, this looks like it's going up 3 each time. Now, if you can't really tell, just take this one here, the second one, minus the first one. 3, there's my common difference. So look right here, you may not catch this one, how much it goes up. But if I take 19 and I subtract 11, I get 8. There's my common difference. Okay, what's my common difference here? 2 minus 5, negative 3. Okay, now we get to number 10 now. And this is one us to write the first 5 terms of sequence, but it tells us what a sub 1 is, it tells us what d is, and it tells us what n is. Okay, so we want the first n terms. Well, n is 6, so that means we want the first 6 terms. Basically is what this means. We want the first 6 terms. All right, so we have to go back to our formula right here. Let's go back to this formula here, which I'll write down here. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. All right, so the first 6 terms, we already know the first term is 8. And we could plug those in, but actually I think what's easier, since d is 7, I'm just going to add 7 to this. So 8 plus 7 is 15. Add 7 again, 15 plus 7 is 22. 22 plus 7 is 29. 29 plus 7 is 36. And then 36 plus 7 is 43. And there's my first 6 terms. Or we could have done this, like a sub 5. It would be the first term, which is 8, plus my d, which is 7. And then I put 5 here, 5 minus 1. Or 5 minus 1, which is 4. And I can just type this in, which would be 36. So see, the 5th term is 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See there, the 5th term is 36. But I think on these type right here, when a sub 1 is 3, it says find the first n terms, which n is 5, so find the first 5 terms. So there's the first one. And my common difference is negative 4, so if I add negative 4 to that, I get negative 1. Add negative 4 to that, negative 5. Add negative 4 there, and add negative 4 again. And there's my first 5 terms. Okay. Now number 12. Here's another one. So the first term is 6. My difference is negative 5. So 6 plus negative 5 would be 1. 1 plus negative 5 would be negative 4. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. Negative 9 plus negative 5 is negative 14. Negative 14 plus negative 5 is negative 19. And negative 19 plus negative 5 is negative 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my first 7 terms, because n is 7. I'm going to find the first 7 terms. Okay. Now here, we probably will have to use the formula. Now we could do this. See, this says find a sub 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. All I need is 3 more numbers. So see, this is going up 3 and 3 and 3. So I can add 3, that'd be 16. I can add 3 again, 19. Add 3 again, 22. And there's my answer right there. Okay? But what if that said find the 50th term? It would not have been that easy. So we would have to use the formula. So here's how you do the formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. All right, so if I want to find a sub 7, so I would just put the numbers in. A sub 1 is 4, see there? My common difference, well, it looks like it's 3. And n minus 1, so that's what a sub n is. So now if I distribute this right here, 3 times n would be 3n. 3 times -1 is -3. And then my like terms 4 plus -3 go together. So that'd be 3n plus 1. Now I'm not sure if maybe it might have it on there like this, but this is your answer right here, and here it is simplified. I don't know if it wants this way or if it wants this way. I can't remember. Okay, but anyway, here's your formula. Now, if I want a sub 7, I just put 7 in for n. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So see, there it is, 22. So actually, it's easier finding it this way for this problem. But if it wanted the 50th term instead of the 7th, then this would be the best way to go here. Okay? Now this says find a sub n and a sub 9. Okay, it tells us a sub 1 is 85, and it tells us the d is 4. So I can start with 85. I could add 4. I could add 4. Oh, that's a 9. Add 4. Add 4. Add 4. Add 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 3 more. Add 4. Add 4. Add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my 9th term right there. Okay. But it's easier using the formula, to be honest. Now, what's my formula going to be? All right, so let's write this down. It's a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. Okay, that's the... I'm doing this whole thing here, and that's not on the screen. I didn't realize it. I'm sorry. But here I started at 85, I added 4, add 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 4, and here I get to this. This is the 9th number. So there's my answer right there for a sub 9. But it's better using the formula. If you keep adding over and over, you could make mistakes, you know, by doing this over and over and over. But here's the formula from the book, or from the, you know, just the general formula. So this means a sub n is going to be the first term, which is 85, plus my d, which this is going up 4. See, there's d, 4, times n minus 1. Now that might be the answer they want right there. But usually, what I've seen, they want you to distribute this. So 4 times n is 4n, 4 times -1 is -4, and then these two are like terms. So it's going to be a sub n equals 4n, and 85 minus 4 will be 81. So I think this is what the answer needs to be, but it may be that way. Okay. Here's another one, 15. Find a sub n and a sub 8. All right, so a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. So a sub n equals my first term, which, oh no, it doesn't tell us here. Okay, so we got to do a little figuring. All right, so we know the 12th term is 9, the 13th term we don't know, and the 14th term is 17. So this term here in the middle we don't know. So basically what I can do here then, I just do 9 plus 17 is 26, and then divide it by 2 is 13. This has to be 13 right here. Now what does that do? Well, that helps me figure out my d now. What's my d? This goes up 4, that goes up 4. So d is 4. And I gotta have my d there. Okay. Now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my a sub 12 equals 9. So a sub 12 equals a sub 1 plus my d, which is 4, and then n is 12. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in to figure out what the a sub 1 is, because it doesn't tell us a sub 1, it tells us 12 and 14. So I'm going to solve this and figure out what my a sub 1 is. Okay, so it means now a sub 12 is 9, so like this is 9 equals a sub 1 plus, and then 4 times 12 minus 11 is 44. Okay, and then I'll just minus 44 on both sides. and then that's negative 35. That's what a sub 1 is. Okay, so now I should be able to get it, because a sub n equals a sub 1, which is negative 35, plus my d, which was 4, times n minus 1. So now I don't know if it wants your answer that way, or if it wants you to distribute. So 4 times n is 4n, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and then these two go together. So a sub n equals negative 39 plus 4n. Okay. Now number 16 here. A man earned $5,000 the first year he worked. If he received a raise of $800 at the end of each year, what was his salary at the end of the 12th year? Okay. So we'll do this again. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. A sub 1, his first year, he made $5,000. His d is 800 because he's getting 800 raise each year. Okay. N is 12 because we want the pay in the 12th year. And so there you go. The pay in the 12th year is going to equal this right here. And so I can just punch that in the calculator. So if I just type that straight in the calculator here, I got 5,000 plus 800, and then in parentheses 12 minus 1, and there you go, 13,800. And that's how much he's getting paid during that 12th year. Okay. All right, one last problem and we're done. Number 17, the population of a town was 35,700 at the beginning of 1980. If the population decreased by 600 people per year, how many people lived in the town at the beginning of 2021? Okay, so a sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. There's my formula. Okay, now the first year in this, 35,700. That's my a sub 1. It's increasing by 600, so my d is 600. And then my n, all right, if we're going from 1980 to 2021, 2021 minus 1980, let's see here. Is that 41? Right? So 41 minus 1. All right, so this is going to be 35,700 plus 24,000, which is going to be 59,700. And there you go. That's my population in 2021. Okay. So that's it. If you have any questions, contact me. That's